Hey, it's Chronologically Gaming, the only channel that's perpetually retro because we're playing every video game in order of release. Now, the entire video game industry is one epic quest. Can we play and see every video game in the arcade, on handhelds, on home consoles, and on every home computer? You gotta tune in to find out. Welcome everyone to October 1982.
Tuesday, one look and Fonzie's hooked.
I am in awe.
We were last playing a lot of space games. The last one was Space Warp, a very impressive Star Trek variant strategy game. Let's see what our next game is. Our next game is still in the United Kingdom. This is Frogger plus Specman. So it's not exactly official Frogger. Here's the box for Frogger plus Specman. Now, this is kind of cool because I only saw and played Specman, and while I was playing it, I saw a picture that, wait, there's a box that has Frogger first, but it's not a real Frogger. This is someone that is blatantly ripping off Frogger, and it's not the first time. We've seen other games that are using the name Frogger, but they're not official Frogger. Shocker, I know. So this is both Frogger and Specman. This is brought to you by Ssstech, like classic titles that Ssstech's given us, like Crazy Race on the ZX Spectrum. Besides the box, we have the cassette we're going to pop in. On one side, you have Frogger, and on the other side is Specman. Or actually, it's on both sides. I wonder if it's on the same side of the cassette. That would be even crazier. How would you get Frogger and Specman on the same side of the cassette? Yeah, so it's not official. There's just an example of what the screenshot looks like. I have a homebrew manual, so you can see a little bit of what the controls are like. The keys are Q, A, O, and P to move around. You try to hop Froggy home. You have to get him across the busy road from log, and then go to the second screen. Watch out for the snake and catch him. Looks fantastic. All right, so we do have both versions. So I'm going to actually, or both games. So I'm going to first play Frogger. Not real Frogger, but fake Frogger on the Sinclair ZX Spectrum. This is my Tony Banks, published by Ssstech at sometime in October 1982. There it is. Cross the road. Don't get run down. Next, over the river. Don't fall in the water. Very, very precise. Oh, wait. The controls are B, N, Z. Okay, so you see you have to type in the controls to get across. This is our 106th game we've played on the ZX Spectrum, and it's a combo pack. All right, so let's see. Move. Yes. Oh my gosh, the Frogger character is static. It's hilarious. So you make your way very, very slowly across to the other side. This is going to be the emptiest Frogger road we've ever seen on any Frogger game. But it's a lot of flashing and blinking as Frogger slowly, very slowly makes his way across the other side. All right, so we try to get right. Wait, we're not supposed to get to the blue? Where are we supposed to go? So it's pretty easy to get to the other end. We do have a time limit that's counting down very, very quickly. Yeah, it's challenging. I guess maybe the green? Yeah, there we go. We get a little public domain ditty again, and then you sit here and wait a sec, because this is doing what we've seen a few other Frogger style games do, where you get to go to another screen. 2 screens for Frogger, yes. So while the controls are clunky, it doesn't really use a joystick, even though the manual, I think the manual was for a different Frogger. There's too many Froggers out there, because this is only running on the ZX Spectrum keyboard. Yes, Ubicore, yikes. This is like I'm playing a Twilight Zone episode and forced to play the worst video games ever. Okay, finally, it's going to redraw us in. Nice, we're playing Frogger on the ZX Spectrum by Ssstech in October 1982. Oh man, the logs. Look how crazy slow it is. I'm going to jump to the next. Gosh, and it's laggy. It's pretty laggy. I don't know if I don't want to call it and say it. At this point, the worst Frogger game we've played has been Green Cross Frog for the Jupiter Ace, and that was mainly because of the lag. And I might say this has almost as bad enough lag. See if I can make it. I don't know how I did it. Well, I made it to the other side, at least from both screens, those two of the screens, but I barely made it through. It's so lag. Like if I could show you that my hands on the keyboard holding down and waiting for the key to go, it's oh wait, but the next level is increasing the number of cars. So it looks like you do have 3 lives, but it's going to get more and more difficult as we go on. Gosh, that time I literally did this and then waited. So it's right around the same amount of lag as playing this on the Jupiter Ace. and that was pretty bad. So yeah, this one's slow. It is 2 screens, and if you were hard pressed to have Frogger and Pac-Man together, you'd be excited at first, but how long would that last? I'm wondering. Yes, that's right, and he's blinking like a cursor. You don't get animation, you get flashing Frogger. Well, we won't go to the second screen on that one because we have another game that's included in this pack. So it's 2 games in one. We also have Specman, and I also included, I'm not going to play it, but there's a Specman by Jega Software that's essentially a type-in game. We're going to play the other version of Frogger and Specman. So this is the C-Tech version of Specman. Oh, man. This company is going places. Way to go, Tony. All right, so press a key to begin. Do we want instructions? Against my better knowledge, yes. Specman on the Specky. You are a hungry Specman. S with an insatiable appetite. Your goal in life is to eat as many dots as possible while remaining within the confines of a maze. So it's Pac-Man. Movement is controlled by the 4 cursor keys. There we go. I'm more familiar with those. And there are a number of ghosts. I guess they represent by the letter U, that'll chase you around the maze. If they catch you, they'll eat you. So it's Pac-Man. Okay, we got it. And you use the cursor keys to move around. You can leave the maze at one side. Very nice. Eating a dot scores 5 points, so get those points if you can. And then we do get skill levels, so you can pick amateur, reasonable, good, professional. I have no idea what we're going to get into. So let's say 3 for good. And hope the game's good. Happy munching. All right, so cursor keys, move us around. Yes, nice. Got it. Okay, very slow to respond still. Can I get a smooth... Okay, so I can get kind of a smooth movement as long as I'm thinking ahead of time. Why is one of the ghosts yellow? Is that some kind of super ghost? This maze is huge, though, for a single screen. I know we're playing as very small. I don't believe it. They're still following me, even though I got the power up. Let's see if the yellow one kills me. No, it works. I don't know what the yellow one means. Did it explain that in the instructions? Because we went by them pretty fast. So the ghost's artificial intelligence is not very smart, and we've seen other Pac-Man games do that. This one's, I mean, there's a lot of games that are like Pac-Man. This is our 123rd game that is like Pac-Man that we played here on the show. Wait, what's happening? No, wait, did you just see what happened? When the ghosts eat me, I lose the life, but I stay right where I was. We have not seen that for any Pac-Man game. And we've seen some pretty trashy ones. Yeah, frame rate is very slow. Atrocious. I don't know, I'm going to collect all the dots now. I got all the power pellets or asterisks, so we're in trouble. Yeah, so you can see the flashing ghosts are going back, but they still killed me? Again? I don't know if I want to say... I'll say yes to see what happens. Does it just go right to the beginning? Okay, so you don't get to pick your skill difficulty level again. There we go. So this kind of reminds me of type-in games we played on the ZX Spectrum at this point. And this was on cassette. This was a 2 combo pack. This may have been something purchased where your parents were getting a really good deal, and then you came home, and I bet you played and had a little bit of fun, but I wouldn't expect it to last very long. Of all the games you could be playing right now up to this point, it's bad. But the combo pack's interesting. It's kind of like, if you got 2 games that are bad, does that make it rate better or higher? Or is it still pretty much trash? No, it's not a PowerPoint presentation. We're not doing application software here, Hunter. Yeah, it's rough. I don't think I'll finish the same board. So we'll never know if Specman has multiple mazes or if this is the only one. If I put money on it, I'd say this is the only maze. This is all you got. Look, we had some ghosts freeze up on us. But I can't believe when we die, we just stay right there. And then your life goes down, and that's it. There's nothing else you can do. All right, so Frogger and Pac-Man on one cassette by C-Tech is not really the way to go. This was the 27th game we've played that's like Frogger, not official, and the 123rd game like Pac-Man that's not official. Of all the games you could be playing across all home consoles, it's still kind of cool to have the 2 games in one, but this one's very low. So Ubagor is in, and I'm looking in the chat, not even giving it any one of the ratings. Yes, we're getting some very, very low ratings. So it is one of the worst times we played Frogger, but the combo pack, I'll still say it's broken, but it's playable. It does work and does what it's supposed to. So I'm going to say 1 star. It's like halfway between broken and bad. Charlie's actually going 1.5. That's very nice. That's true. It's not necessarily broken. It is a bad games to play, but you find some enjoyment on it. Yep. Yeah, playable. So yeah, 2-pack, I'll do 1.5 stars. It's bad. It's not necessarily broken. We were able to get across the street. We couldn't do that in Green Cross Frog. All right, with that, let's see what our next game is. That's right, Charlie. We're still going to be on the ZX Spectrum, and this is Spectrum Skiing. Man, we got some quality games tonight. This one does not really have a box because we're going to type this in. This is from Your Computer Magazine. The November issue, whenever you got it in October. So whenever you could type this sucker in, you can see, look at the front of this. This has the BBC Micro Spectrum graphics, the Clive Sinclair interview, the Jupiter Ace reviewed, the ZX81 software interview. Look at that. And even Acorn graphics. If you flip to the right page, here it is, Spectrum Skiing or Slalom, and the type-in code for it. So we are going to type in and play Spectrum Skiing. This is by Jonathan Yeomans. Whenever you type this in October 1982, it probably was at the end of October. So it's our 107th game on the ZX Spectrum. Welcome to skiing. Make your way down the course using the cursor keys to dodge the flags and forest to reach the bottom, and a colorful celebration. Be warned, you only have 5 lives. This is our 83rd type-in game we've played on Chronologically Gaming, and there's so many more type-in games out there. I want to give just a splash for the type-in games, because if you open up magazines right now, you could type in probably 10 games for each magazine. All right, so we're in. Let's do the cursor keys. Go. What? I'm already bad luck. I hit a tree. Oh, this is rough. That means you got to be really fast. Down right. Up right. Down right. Oh, I hit a flag. Lose another life. So it's skiing, but it's taking place on one screen. And it's a very unforgiving skiing. Gosh. I don't think we're going to see the colorful fanfare at the end because... Come on, up. We're a blinking character yet again. I don't know how I'm making it through right now. Whoa. Guess you ran out of lives. Do you want to play again? Yes. I spent an hour or 2 typing this in, so yes, I'll keep playing Spectrum Skiing. This is pretty bad. All right, so the controls are cursor keys, but the flashing character and the frame rate of the character make this barely playable. It's barely able to function as a game or a skiing game because you're essentially just dodging yourself through. Here we go. Ready? Oh, that's true, Curtis. I didn't think of that. Maybe this has bugs, and that's why we were blinking. Gosh, you gotta be so quick. Quick, fast on the keyboard. This feels like I'm doing an Olympic event. I kind of want to see the colorful fanfare, but I don't think I can get to the end of the course. Gosh, because you have to type fast to do your movement. And notice there's no animation on the character. It's just you're sliding around. Come on, quick. Gosh. It takes utmost concentration. But in a way, because of that quick gameplay, I want to keep going to see if I can do it. So it's more like the game's borderline broken, but I want to keep trying to push past the broken. I want to fight the broken game. That's right, Brian. Maybe we should. I don't think anyone's speedrunning Spectrum Skiing. Until now, here on Chronologically Gaming. Well, we have seen better type-in games than this, Richard. One of the best ones was Maniac on the Atari home computer. Maniac was a 2-player Berserk game. Very, very well done. This one's using the modified character graphics of the ZX Spectrum. Oh, we made it further, but... yes, it can be beat. I'm amazed that it's on one screen. There's only one other game we've played across all video games where skiing was on one screen, and that was way back in 1972 on the Magnavox Odyssey. There was Ski. Ski was the overlay you put over the television and played skiing on one screen. The game's laughing at me. Haha, you lose another life. Every other skiing game we've played up to this point has been a scrolling game or a first-person game or scrolling down, or it was never on one screen like this. Do we want to play again? No, we do not. We do not want to play anymore. So there you go, Spectrum skiing for the ZX Spectrum. Of all the games you could be playing right now, it's the 15th skiing game up to this point. It is the worst skiing game of all the skiing games we played over time. No, we don't need a timer. No timers, Charlie. That's a bad idea. I'm going to say this one, yes, is borderline broken because of, again, it's a type-in game, so you could give it some leeway, but I got to go low. I mean, 1 star. It's fun to try over and over again, but it's rough. It's very, very difficult because the blinking character is really one reason why. Yeah, looking over the chat, I see lower ratings, but I see some generous ones, 1.5. I would rather play Specman and Frogger, the combined one, than this, definitely. And it is type-in, so you can give it that. All right, so other than that, let's see what our next game is. Now we're going to play on the Apple II. This game's called Spud and Mug Shot. Another 2-pack. It must be compilation night here on Chronologically Gaming. Here's the ad you would have seen in magazines a little bit later. I didn't see anything from the time because Spud and Mug Shot was available by baggies or sleeves. And believe it or not, some of these games that we get, they were first released in bags and they just were passed out. And you could put the software in your computer. Forget viruses. Don't worry about those. It's October 1982. So this is Spud and Mug Shot. So there's a bonus game they call Mug Shot. It says it's a 2-player game that's fast and challenging. From your fort, you fire 3 kinds of ammunition. 3 kinds of ammunition to move the bouncing Spud, destroy your competitor, intercept shots, gain bonus points. And there's also the bonus game Mug Shot, which is 4 players. Cool. And then we have the example of a screenshot, but the screenshot isn't giving us anything. Let's play some Spud and Mug Shot. This is by Stephen Wallach. Published by Howard and W. Sams and Company at sometime in October, late October, 1982. This is only for the Apple II. You can't get this anywhere else, and this is our 397th game we've played on the Apple II. All right, I'm ready to play Spud and Mug Shot. The Howard W. Sams and Company. This is the 4th game that we've seen by them. And let's play Spud first. I got paddles plugged in, so let's get the paddles going. And play Spud. Let's see what it's like. I don't know. Yeah, it's a fun idea for a company. All right, so we're in. Push my paddle. Now, this is very interesting. Okay, so I'm on the left side of the screen controlling the paddles on the green turret. And on the right side of the screen is where the second player would be controlling the magenta turret, because we're using classic Apple II colors here. Now the turret, I have the ability to move all the way around 360 degrees. Feels super smooth with my paddle control. And there's 1 pixel that's showing where my turret's firing, so I have a firing shot. But I can't fire directly at the opponent. So when I'm firing at them... Oh, I do get bonus points. Okay, I see. So you can fire at them. And you can use the shields to block shots from your opponent. And you can also use your shot to fire the other balls that are bouncing around the screen at the other player. Another video game that you might describe as a fever dream, because how else can you describe... I did the best I could to describe what's happening right now. It does kind of feel like sports, but because of the shooting mechanic, it really doesn't feel like a sporting title. It feels like we're actually... we're doing a competitive game, but oh, go. And you're right, the border in the middle does make it kind of feel like sports, but it wasn't advertised as like a futuristic sports title. In a way, I'm getting vibes of a game we played a very long time ago on the Fairchild Channel F home console, a game called Video Whizball. This is making me think of that. Whoa, look at the explosion. That's pretty impressive for the Apple II. We've seen a lot of explosions. That was really good. Do we go again? So this is 2-player only. You cannot compete unless you have another player. There's no computer that plays against you. Man, that explosion was pretty good. For Apple II, that was nice. So interesting gameplay. You have to have 2 people to play this one and enjoy it. You want to be able to use your shots against the enemy, use your shield to defend yourself, and also use your shots to bounce the other balls to hit the enemy. And the reason I bring up Video Whiz Ball is because that game, you needed to fire your... It was like a Pong style game. So you used your Pong paddle, but you, instead of bouncing the ball into the other player's court, you used it to bounce against a larger object, and then that larger object was what you used to take out the enemy. That was Video Whiz Ball. So this kind of has me feeling a little bit like that. But this is original. This is a multi-directional shooter, but we're not flying around like asteroids. We actually are controlling one turret. So it's like a mix between a fixed shooter and a multi-directional shooter. All right, so there you go. That's Spud. But we got more. We need to see Mug Shot. So let's go in and play some Mug Shot. I tried hitting the brake on this, but it didn't work so well. Like to go back to play Mug Shot. So I just know I can just kill the game and then we'll go back in and play some Mug Shot. I like this is not copying any other game we've played, like directly. You can't look at this game and say, this reminds me of such and such. All right, so Mug Shot. Let's go paddles again for Mug Shot. This one's a little bit different. That one was more of a competitive multiplayer game. This one is alternate play. You play this like you would hot seat style in the arcade, and you can have up to 4 players. So I'm going to go with all 4. We all share the same paddle control. And then you put in the players' names. We'll do everybody from chat tonight. Oh, so you do player 1 will be Chrono. And then player 2 will be Charlie. And then player 3, last person before that was Hunter. And then player 4 would be Marshall. Ready and go. So Chrono's up. You grab the single paddle controller. You can see it controls the same way as the turret. Your paddle control moves all the way around. And now you're firing over on the left side. Really, really fast shots, but you're trying to intercept the shots over on the left. And after you fire at the shots at the left, let's see if we can go. Yeah, there you go. Once you fire the shot, you kind of pull them into the playing field. That's weird. I thought we'd blow them up. Oh, no, no. Go down to this one. Come on. Oh, there we go. And they destroy. Yeah, the shrapnel graphics are pretty cool. And then whenever you have destroyed all of them or got as much points within the time limit, then the next person goes. So it's counting down a time. You can see that in the center at the bottom. And you're trying to get as many points as you can before the time limit's up. But again, they're doing this differently. This is not like a shooting gallery like we've seen before. It's a different style of shooting gallery where you're controlling this turret using a paddle control. Yes, very, very different, Hunter. I can't describe many games that are like this. This is a new idea, a new concept. Not that this is like entirely incredible or really fun. This is a little weird. I really wish it was something more simple where I can just shoot and explode things. But you can see how we're taking turns, one player at a time. They rack up as much scores as they can in the time limit, and then we switch out. But it'd be a fun game if you had some people at home that wanted to play the Apple II right now. Yeah, are they faces? Yeah. That's it. That's what it's called, Mug Shot. You're supposed to shoot the faces that are floating around. And you go through everybody that we just typed the names in. Oh, there we go. Just hold down the paddle button and then you can just fire away. See, but I'm not sure. The score only counts when you destroy them, but I think you have to hit them in a certain spot. So as I'm firing, notice that the score wasn't going up until they exploded, but I don't know exactly how to explode. I wonder if you have to hit them on the point at the end. It's, once again, another very original game for the Apple II. Very, very nice. So of all the games you could be playing right now, I don't have a whole lot I can compare to. The first game kind of reminded me of Video Whiz Ball, but that's a stretch. And that was a long time ago in gaming. At this point, I would still say it's around the average range, having the 2 games in one, but you'd have a good time and you'd understand the nuances because the paddle controls are pretty good. But I wouldn't want to push it any higher than 3.5. So I'm going to go 3.5 stars. The 2-pack would be good, an above average title for all the games you could play right now. Yeah, Ubicore's going 3 stars. I got a 2.5. Manly's around average, mostly average. I'm seeing from the chat too. I'll be generous because I had fun, and you'd have more fun if you had someone else to play as well. All right, now let's see what our next game is. Our next game is on the Atari VCS. Let's play some Snake. Here's the box for Snake. This is our 154th game for the Atari VCS, and it's only on the Atari VCS. The front of the box is very interesting. We know it's called Snake, but why are we playing with Tinker Toys? What is going on? Wait, there's a guy in the middle. Wait a second. What is this? Someone's swinging a bat? I just realized there was someone right there on the box. Ah, how deep can you go with artwork on the front of boxes? This one's by Data Age. This is the 5th game we've seen Data Age make, and they're all on the Atari. You are a daring big game hunter who has stumbled into the Amazon's legendary land that time forgot. But the game being hunted is you. How long can you survive? Can you cut the deadly snakes down to size? You'll find your skill with a joystick controller test to its limits. Watch out, you may get wrapped up in this one. This for 1 or 2 players, at least it says. Don't ruin the surprise, Marshall. What other artwork do we have for Snake? We got the grungy actual box and then the reconstructed. Ooh, classic 1982, fresh. And as we go through the box, we also have the ad, and we've seen this ad before. Data Age had a few of their games release a record that came with it, Mindscape. So you got a Mindscape record and this game. The very first one we ever saw by, I think by Data Age was Journey. And there's our cassette, our cartridge we're going to pop into the Atari and play. Yes, we got some of that on there too. With an example of the screenshot. I really don't want to play or read too much into this. Wait, the Jungle Guidebook. Here's the manual for Snake. It is exactly what we read on the back. Your objective is to score as many points as possible. Haven't heard that one before. Shooting prehistoric creatures that prowl outside the ancient fortress walls. At the same time, you have to avoid contact with the deadly snakes that can slither in and out of your jungle hiding place. What? So you don't even shoot the snake? I'm very confused. Over on the left side, why does it take 8 steps to play the game? They have to break down everything. Make sure you hook up everything on your Atari home console. Make sure it's powered off. Yeah, that's too many steps. Sorry, guys. Over on the right side, we got scoring, an example of the screenshot for what the game is like and what everything... Yeah, thanks for telling us what the prehistoric creatures are. We'll need that. Position your gun moving around the joystick controller at the exact right angles, and that is the key. We're going to be shooting around our fortress, and it has different survival strategies here and some things to remember as well. Oh, there we go. They got a diagram of the Atari joystick, and you're going to need it if you ever play this yourself. The 2-player variant mode just means you're going to be taking turns. Let's pop in and play some Snake by Data Age, released sometime in October 1982. Oh gosh, that's what we're greeted to the first time we pop in the game. I haven't even done anything. I haven't pushed reset or anything. All right, so let's go and see what the game modes are. It's just, that's it. We only got 2 game modes. You can play 1-player or 2-player. If you play 2-player, you're going to take turns anyway. So we're going to hit reset, and we're in. So I'm able to move left and right, but here's the rub. The way you control this is you can only move around the square. That's it. Gonna go again? No, you just reset? Oh, man. Okay, so you can only move around the square just like this in these directions. So if I try to move anything else, I feel stiff. It feels very stiff to move and frame myself. When you get to either side, notice how you change color. Every color is going to indicate where you're going to shoot. So if I'm blue, you see I shoot over to the right. If I'm orange, I shoot down. I got one of the creatures. There you go. You shoot them past here. If you are red, you shoot over to the left. And if you are yellow, you shoot to the top. Now, the snake that's moving around doesn't even look like a snake. It actually reminds me more of Centipede. But you can't kill the snake. The snake is there just to deter you, block your shots, and get in your way. So it is a nuisance. If there was only a way to beat it or blow it up, like it was a boss, that would be nice. But the control is what's very strange with this one. We played a few games that allow you to move like a fixed shooter like this, where you're not just going left and right and firing like Space Invaders. Gosh. Beware the flashing lights. All right, we'll reset again. We got a total of 8 points last time. And we played a few games that allow you to move around a wider spectrum. One of the best ones is Tempest, obviously. But there's been other games that allow us to do it. But this one is more clunky because you have to only fire a certain way based on where your character is. Now, I'll give it props for doing something new and different, because of all the shooters we played on this show, there is no shooter that has done this. This is the very first game that is this kind of shooter, making your shots go in different directions, and you're forced to shoot a certain direction. So it's kind of like the games that try something new, but you try something new and it usually doesn't end up so well. Manly, I love it. So it is a shoot 'em up. There's a snake in the game, but you're not playing like a snake. But you can only, like, look at this. I can't even go down. I can only move left and right until I get to the corner. And then when I get to the corner, then I can move up and down. That's how the control is. So I don't feel like I'm, oh, see right there? I'm stuck on the corner, and the corners can get you in bad ones. Well, we've seen all the good games by Atari. At this point, this one is not one of the best Atari games you could play. It's interesting seeing this concept, but I actually want to say it's a bad game, but it's really not that bad. We've seen worse games for the Atari that you could play, because the control is playable. It works, and it's trying something different, so you're playing it a different way, but it's not as fun. I'm already seeing a 2 thrown out. And where's our game variations? Where is our 120-something game variations? We only get 2 for this one? So you and a friend could play, but you wouldn't play at the same time. Of all the games you can play right now across all home consoles, it's interesting, and I actually want to give it a 1.5 bad rating for all the games you can play across home consoles, but because it is different, I don't want to fault different. I actually want to give it a little bit better than that. Millie's got 1.5 star. I see 2. Oh, James saying better than Airlock. Yes, I would say it is better than Airlock. Yes. Charlie's very nice with the 3. Ubicore is even better than that. If you played it yourself, you'd understand it's the corners that are tricky, but for me, it's you only can shoot one way on certain sides of the square, and it's just not as fun. All right, so I'm going to go 2 stars of all the games you can be playing across all home consoles. Snake is bad, but it's the best of the bad. All right, it's time to put the video game playing on pause, or reset that Atari console, or play something else. Just not Pac-Man. Ooh, that's a good question. Was Snake better than Pac-Man? They gave the same rating, at least we saw here on the show on Chronologically Gaming. That'd be a tricky one. I wonder if we should do that with most games on Atari moving forward. Is this better than Pac-Man? Is this better than Pac-Man? Tune in next time on Chronologically Gaming, because we're going to be playing a bunch of games that start with the word star. So we'll be playing a lot of games that begin with the word star. Will some of them end in wars or Trek? You got to stay tuned to find out. That's it for today, and like I always say, peace, love, and video games. Hey everybody, thanks for checking out the channel and joining me on my quest to play every single video game in order of release. We'll be streaming live every weekday at 9 p.m. Central, so join us and let us know if we missed any games along the way. This video would not be possible without Launchbox, RetroArch, and MAME. Tell all your friends there's some crazy guy named Chronologically Gaming trying to play every single video game. We have links down below that'll send you to places like our Discord and Patreon, and one that says all the video games we've ever played. If you go there, it's a list of everything, and you can click right to the game you want to see. Chronologically Gaming is the name to look for. We are perpetually retro, and we will catch you next time.